Alrighty then. Okay, let's see. Good start. How's the audio? Is that even running? Let me see. Yep, okay, that's good. It be live. Okie dokie. Let me just tell everyone the stream is actually on, real quick. Okie dokie. Where the hell's my server? Okay, let's see if that updates. There we go. Okay, now the thumbnail is updating. That is so strange. Okay, let's see. Anybody message back? Oh, great. Okie dokie, the proper folks have been alerted. Let's see if this actually does anything. See if anybody wants to join. Alrighty, well, for the one person watching, if you're interested in today's stream, this is just going to be like a quick one, probably like an hour at most, but I kind of just wanted to work on some stuff for Luminox today, which is kind of what I've been doing here right now, just a quick like little doodle. And where's that comic I was working on? Some other stuff around here. Actually, no, I should probably do Blaine's sheet. Honestly, I've been sitting on that for a while. Okay, so two-ish things on the roster today. Shouldn't be crazy difficult, but and so we got. I was getting goofy, and I was like, you know what? I'd got to focus on something. So I figured, why not? Let's see. Ooh, hey, Sparko posted. Nice piece. Very nice. Oh my goodness. Why is my latency so bad? Alright, so for the person on stream, just gonna sit around for a minute or two in case anybody else joins, then I'm gonna get started on the art. Also, if you hear construction in the background, they are still doing that. I don't know how, but it's a pleasure to have you on stream. Let's hope today goes all right. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just gonna get back into it because I was already kind of drawing this, and I kind of want to continue straight off the bat. So this one was just a quick doodle. I was thinking of having Eleanor kind of like just completely fucking with him. Actually, her back would probably be arched a little more like this. And she's like, I don't know, she's like looking for like cell phone signal or something. I thought that'd be kind of funny. That could be a neat little detail. Yeah, she's like, why can't I get on my program kind of thing. There we go. Ooh, that is certainly a friend. Oh, hey, Ari. Yeah, friend-shaped is definitely gonna be Blaine's sheet over here. She is 100% friend-shaped. I want to hug her really bad. Let's see. Back to Eleanor and Dieter. She's like, yeah, she's like trying to get the signal, and she's just using him as like a stool, basically. Okay. Now this is the one thing I actually haven't been 100% sure on, is how the hell their shoes work. Because I've had a couple ideas of how their like shoes would actually function, but for now I'm just kind of drawing them with like, cartoony animal feet. Oh, and his tail. His tail is kind of eluding me right now. I was actually thinking of giving him like a really uniquely shaped tail. Let me get an example of that real quick. So, I think it was in this one actually, or is it? It's this one. I was thinking of actually making their tails the shape of their shape language. So because Eleanor is primarily triangles, her shape would just be like her tail would just be a triangle, and Dieter is primarily squares, so his would also be kind of rectangular and squarish. And since Blaine is primarily circles, hers would also be kind of a circle. I can close this. Why does that even open still? So I was thinking of doing something like that, but I want to see how that would actually look first. Let's see. So I have him wearing his vest right now, kind of here. His like orange vest that he wears around the lab for fun. And then I think yeah, I'll try out that square tail idea, but like really refine it. He needs to look boring, but interesting at the same time. If that makes any sense at all. Hi Amber, can't stay for long, but I hope you're doing great, having lots of fun with everything. Uh, the streams have definitely been fun. They've been a good way to keep on track with things. I've been so-so today. It's been better, actually. Today was pretty good. I just kind of felt a little down, and I was like, you know what? I think I'll just stream. Why not? That should help a bit. Ooh, what if it's like lines like that? And that's his tail. And it might be a little too on the nose. Kind of give him like square tufts of fur. There we go. Eey, damn, is it that loud? Holy shit. And let's get Eleanor. Kind of looking ahead. Get her ears in. Yeah, and I think that's more or less how the shape of her is going to be. Might want to exaggerate her a tiny bit more. Okie dokie. If I'm... Okay, it's been 10 minutes. Alright, let's see. How exactly she's going to be angled is beyond me. I don't know how the hell I'm going to get this angle right. But it's worth a try. Yeah, let's give it a shot. Why not? So her chest would probably be kind of bouncing slightly because she's like jumped up on him, and totally not for any biased reasons whatsoever. Yeah, but her jacket would probably be like shooting forward a little bit. So this would be here, and then the coat would be kind of swooped across here, and it would carry over back here, and then there'd be a clothing fold right there. That makes sense, I think. Ooh, I need to edit her arm though, actually. Her arm is a little off, if this is how it's going to be. By a little, I mean very off. Actually, she needs to be way higher up if that's going to be the look I'm going for. Here we go. And the swoop across. Give it that motion. And perfect. Damn, okay, this is a really tough angle. Maybe not. I might just stick to giving her the crop top I envisioned before, or like the tank top that I was thinking of using. Because if the forward motion is here, this really needs to translate to like her back being arched, and then her like hips kind of doing all the work. Because like if she's kind of leaning like this, then yeah, her rear would be kind of like that, and then like so. And she'd actually need to be a lot bigger, proportionally speaking, for it to make sense. She's like at least almost like 6 foot something, if I recall. I think I can actually exaggerate this, like... Yeah, I can exaggerate that a little bit more. I think I can angle her leg forward like this. And her tail's kind of shooting up there. Okay, there we go. Got that right. Put this here. Ooh, wait, actually, this angle here kind of makes a bit more sense. If it's like this is probably from the behind here. And then her tail would actually need to be a bit lower. So that would be over here. Like so. This way, right there. Now I think that makes sense, the gremlin. Hey, pleasure to see you here, Mark. How's work going? Here we go. Yeah, I'm just doing a quick stream here. Almost wrapping up. Just talked to an old friend. That was nice. Hey, that must have been cool. What kind of... Actually, here we go. Get her leg in first. What kind of old friend? Like somebody from work or just somebody like, you know, in real life? Like that sort of thing? Nice to see a stream. Well, it's good to have you on here, that's for sure. See, get her leg in here. Well, I work at a uni, so someone who used to go to class with me there. Oh, that's sweet. That is really cool, actually. Yeah. Man, I think I've only run into like one person I used to know in the past by chance. like ever. That's pretty cool, actually. That certainly must have been a surprise. Let me see. All right, I gotta fix her legs a bit to really exaggerate this kind of, yeah, more like this. And then this leg has got to be a bit closer. He's very fun. Oh, well, that's great to hear, dude. Yeah, she's using him as like a stool here, just to get signal for her phone. Which is kind of hilarious that they still have to try to get signal on a space station. Here we go. So she actually needs to be a little bit bigger too. Here we go. Yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff that I specifically put in this world to just be ridiculous because it's like it's the aesthetic of like the 90s, but it's like taken to the extreme. So it's like they all live on a space station with futuristic technology. So they have like food replicators, like I'm talking like Star Trek style, like Star Trek type of shit, and they can just replicate food. And in theory, anyone could have a place like this. Will you do my YCH free teas base in the stream? Uh, Unfortunately, probably not. Salty pretzels. This is definitely more of a focus on Limanox, but I appreciate the offer. Oh my goodness. Why is the construction so bad right now? By the way, they are still doing construction. Although Salty, I really think you should do, you should probably use that YCH, like, for yourself and whatnot, because, I mean, like, you made it after all. Yeah, the mix of far future and 90s is so fun. Oh, glad so. I really wanted to, I wanted to make, like, an anti kind of, how do I explain it? Like, I've noticed that space travel in most media is generally not, maybe next stream? Uh, uh, Probably not, I'm afraid. I'm mostly just focusing on Limanox and like other projects that I've been working on. But like I said, I really think you should use that Y street, sorry, that YCH like for your own stuff. I think that'd be cool. Here we go. And yeah, so like I really want to do a thing where it's like space travel, but it's like actually kind of appealing space travel because it's like it's basically just living on Earth, but with extra steps, I suppose. So I mean, quite frankly, I can't think of a like I legitimately think a lot of people would actually want to live on the TVU because it's low-key kind of nicer than real life. Okay, use it one day though. Huh. Well, I appreciate the fact that you put it together. That was really sweet. Here we go. Yeah, like this. Actually, her rear is a little too stretched out here. Should probably be more like this. Here we go. Don't mind Dieter's ears here. God, can you guys actually hear the construction in the background? Living in a relatable way, but with few fundamental changes to the environment. Yeah, like, the whole thing is literally just meant to be, like, an exaggeration of, like, this utopia of the 90s, where it's, like, food is like $1, for example. So, like, they can replicate food. Like, in theory, you could put one of those in everybody's house, but people like buying stuff and going to restaurants, so there are still restaurants, but food is like $1, and everything is pretty much free because it's like a utopian system. Like they have the equivalent of like infinite resources for the size of their place, but like there's kind of just like because there isn't as much scarcity, like people like can take this consumerism and like really just go nuts with it. And so it's like people will like have a shirt that like you could have like a shirt and it has like a tear in it and people will throw it in their replicator thing. Like they'll go to the store to buy the exact same shirt brand new, and the only thing the replicator is doing is it's just recycling the exact same shirt, and they're like paying for it. but it's like $1, so no one really cares. It's very much like just like a full exaggeration in this period of time. Oh, damn it. It kind of looks a bit odd. Uh, really trying to get this angle right. It's definitely a tough angle to draw. Okay. And then I think I'll have like a stool here, but she can't reach all the way. And poor Dieter is too nice to actually just move and like let her fall down, even though he wants to so bad probably. Here we go. Let's get the stool here. Here we are. Or actually, I kind of like the idea that his tail is just so dense that she can stand on it. That'd be kind of funny. Yeah, something like this. Little bit ridiculous, but I think it's kind of funny. Okay, what do you guys think about this? Wow, the tail climb? Yeah, she's literally just using him like a stool. Do you think Lima Knox will have an Anthro Truck character? Probably not. Generally, so like the lore behind like the characters in Lima Knox, I haven't actually done a crazy amount of world building, and that's kind of on purpose. But like for the same reason, I'm not having like aeromorphs in it, and I'm debating if I should even include reptile characters. But like the idea is just generally they have no idea why they're anthropomorphic, but like it's kind of like Zootopia in the fact that they are anthropomorphic does actually play a factor in that some of them do actually have biases for each other based on that. Uh, they have a vague idea of humans, like to them. So keep in mind, this world has like been disconnected from anything for a very long time. So they have like this vague idea of it. And at the end of the day, I might change like some stuff too, because the story is kind of in flux right now. But like their world is very much like they don't really know that much about what happened in the past, and as a result, like some people literally think like elves built the TBU or like dwarves or something because they don't really have that history. And so the fact that everyone is anthropomorphic is something that's not really like mentioned or like even thought of that deeply. Like it's just kind of assumed that that's normal. It's friend. Oh hey dude. Hey Drakey. Pleasure to have you on stream. So yeah, it's just kind of like assumed that everyone has been anthropomorphic and that's just normal. Like they don't know anything else. There we go. Okay, I think I can add her arm in now. I love the ridiculousness of the. I'm actually really surprised. I kind of got that down all right. It's a neat concept, just so far removed that they assume the way things are is just how it's always been. Yeah, no, I mean like if you grew up around a bunch of anthros, you'd probably think it's normal too. Just like there's like I'm gonna put like little goofy like hints probably that there were humans or something, or like maybe even not. Maybe this thing literally was just built by anthros. Honestly, I have no idea. I'm definitely going with the Tolkien route here. If it's like I'm just the reporter, like I don't actually know that much about this world because I kind of purposefully didn't want to do that much world building for this one. I just wanted to be like kind of stupid, fun. Is that a good angle for her neck? I feel like it's not. Hang on, I might have to adjust this actually a little bit because I really want to get the angle for her head right here. Because if she's going like this, the angle of movement would be like so. Oh, little art tip. if you're ever trying to do a really dynamic pose like this, and let's say you have a part that you can't figure out like where her head is gonna go or how that's gonna look, try to find the line of movement and follow it. And that's generally going to bend with gravity based on the lowest point of the character. So that being her foot here, this is where all the gravity is. And then her central part over here, which is her torso, is here. You can generally assume that the bend is going to snap back depending on the pose. If she's leaning forward, then the bend would end up like here. Think of it like a leaf or like a blade of grass you're holding and whatnot. Uh, but actually, let me change the color of this so it's easier to see. No, there we go. So like if she was leaning forward all the way, the bend would be following this angle, like a blade of grass. So she'd be over here. But because she's leaning back, and she has a particularly tall head, yes, the line of action, honestly, I've always struggled with what it represents. Okay, so what it represents. Oh, actually, yes, the story is the most important part. I agree. I used to do a ton of world building stories before this, and then I was like, I don't want to do that anymore. I just want to do something that is just story. And as I've done that, I've had way more fun with lima Nox. Uh, but yeah, so the line of action, to put it as simple as possible, is just a very simplified look into how, in my opinion, it's just a very simplified look into how gravity is affecting the character. So like, or you can think of it as just a line that you follow to get the look that you want. So for example, if you want a character that's uh, like jumping for joy, you might do something like this, and then you could put the arms here, and they're like, oh, yippee, and the legs are here. You're basically using this line to guide the way that the character's movement is going. Or if a character is leaning, for example, let's say you want them leaning, you would have this line to show how gravity is affecting that. Think of it like you're literally holding a piece of paper. Makes sense. I honestly didn't consider it being gravity, since thinking a bit too abstractly. Yeah. For me, the thing that's really helped me a lot with my drawing is to consider how gravity would work in these sorts of environments. And once you take gravity into account on a character, like just with like squish or like movement, like for example, like her chest is moving up, and this is a funny after all, like a wooga like neuron activation, but like her body is moving in opposite directions here, and this is translated by the fact that her chest is moving up, but her lower body is moving down, which gives you this idea that her motion is something like this, where all the gravity is being put down on this part, but her motion, so like her actual like impetus, is being moved upwards. And that's why she's using him as her like little stool here. So that is a way you can look at it that can help you. You can also just look at it as momentum, or like there's a tons of different ways you can look at the line of action and it'll help you out. But gravity is the one that I think most people like it clicks for that I've spoken to. Like it just makes more sense if it's gravity. So like if we're starting from her foot here and we're moving down to her torso, which would be like so, indeed the teeter boost, yeah, then her natural instinct to keep balance, because what she's trying to do is keep balance here, is she's actually going to move backwards. And then because her head is where a lot of the weight on her neck is being pushed down, that is going to need to move forward to counterbalance that. So she's actually going to need to move her head like so. And we can actually exaggerate that a little bit more just to really make it kind of nuts, or like kind of goofy, or at least proportionate to the rest of the body. Okay, yeah, sort of bicycle balance logic. Yeah, think about it like bicycle, like bicycle. Think of it like balance and gravity, and that will generally help you, at the very least, picture it in your mind a little better. But action lines are definitely something that take a long time to practice. Like they are not ever gonna come in just simply. It's something you definitely got to practice with. You got to figure it out, and movement is not going to look the same for everyone. Movement is going to look very different for everyone. Uh, Just like there's line art and line work styles, there are also movement and momentum styles. So some people have very like really crazy shapes, like super exaggerated, like a character is jumping. Here's the foot, and then like like some ridiculous shape like this, which is like it definitely shows the movement, but it's like super exaggerated, and that's a certain style of doing it. Or you could be the kind of person that is like very like this is real, like a super like accurate kind of look into it and whatnot. And these two are like they're showing the same thing, but the translation is very or like the actual language that they're using in their shapes and like how they're doing it is very different. And like they're still jumping or like about to jump, but the actual shape language is very different. Uh, so like if you ever try it, don't ever be too frustrated like oh mine doesn't look like this because it doesn't look right or something. Some people definitely do it more right, but like it's kind of hard to be right because movement is very variable and movement is one of those things that's really hard to capture in just 2D. So like let me get her head down real quick. Yeah, let me get her head down real quick. There's a style to it, so there's no one right way. Uh, yeah, in a sense. So like there is a right and a wrong way to show what movement is, like if something is moving. So like this is very clearly not moving, like this is a static object. And so if I was to say this was moving, it would be wrong. But if like this is moving and this is also moving, like if this is that same ball and this is moving and this is moving too, or even this for all I know, then like these are all movement. So this is correctly movement, but none of these are the correct kind of movement because there is no correct kind of movement. That depends on what kind of movement you're giving. Because like this is very fast, and this is like like a squash ball going across a court or something, and this is maybe bouncing up. So like what is correct would be very dependent on specifically what kind of movement you're doing and what is moving. So in that sense, yeah, there is no this is the right way to do it and everything else is wrong for the shape of it, but the actual idea of is this moving or is this not can be right or wrong. Like it's either moving or it isn't. And so you can think of it like that. Oh my god, I'm actually doing like hand gestures. I wish, I wish I had like a VTuber model. That'd be pretty fun. Because then you'd actually get to see my ridiculous hand gestures. Does that make sense for her neck? It's a little too sharp, I think, in some parts. Yeah, no, I've been wanting to get a VTuber model for a while. I think once I start learning 3D, I'm probably gonna do it. I've been inspired a lot recently to do 3D, so could be fun. Fun. I definitely need to mess with that some more. Yeah, no, it pays really well. I mean, like VTubing is really big right now. Uh, it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. Like, it seems like kind of what streaming was. I got one for when I stream. It's fun. Yeah, I'll definitely have to try it out at some point. But VTubing is pretty fun, and it doesn't seem like it's gonna go anywhere. So I definitely want to try it out. There we go. So yeah, so like using Eleanor as an example for movement here, like it's very clear she is moving, but what exactly the correct angle for like this is not 100% what it should look like. Like any number of these things could be different is what I'm talking about, but it is clear that she is moving, and that's what you're going for when you're doing stuff like this. I still think you'd be able to make an awesome PNG tuber, even now if not a full VTuber. Uh, if you know anyone, so like I've actually seen a couple of YouTuber programs and I've tried using them, but I've never really been able to wrap my head around them. That and I just haven't really had the time. But if you know anyone who does know how to like actually do VTuber models that can help me out with it, I'd really appreciate that because I'm definitely trying to do that. Let me get her snout in right. I have used those. They're pretty easy. Yeah, I definitely want to try it more again. I made one a long time ago, but I don't know where I put it, and I have the software somewhere. Yeah, there's like a way to show movement, but you can mess with the variables to the style of it. Yeah, no, for sure. So like her neck could be any number of ways, and to be fair, a lot of this is just art in general. Like style is variable. Like it's the variables in between what is objectively there. So like a potted plant can be drawn any number of ways by different artists, especially the PNG tuber stuff. There's simplified ones to get your feet in the door. If you have any advice, I would super appreciate it. Like, by all means. That's something I've been meaning to look into, but I just haven't really been able to look into because I've just been busy with other stuff, especially like the YCHs. This took up a lot of my time. Very fun, by the way. Like, don't get me wrong, this was awesome. But this week I definitely want to focus on some more fun stuff I want to do. So like these little doodles, comics. What else? What else have I wanted to do? There's a few things on the list I've wanted to do. These doodles, some more posters, more comics. I've really, really wanted to do whatchamacallit, Raptor, yeah. I've really, really wanted to do voiceovers for my comics and just post them to YouTube for fun. Because I haven't done VA in a long time, and I'm not really looking for any jobs for it at the moment. Or at least no one's really approached me about that. Uh, so that could be fun, and it'll get people to do the voices and whatnot. Oh god, I'd probably do the voice for Eleanor, which would be really funny. I've had a friend who's told me on a couple times I should do the voice for Eleanor, and I'm like, the more I've thought about it, the more I'm like, that would be really fun. I'm more familiar with PNG Tuber Plus myself, but honestly, PNG Tuber Redux is pretty good. Start to find with. Let me check that out actually. PNG Tuber Redux. Let me look at this. PNG Tuber Redux. Oh, I think I have seen this. But it was like a long time ago because it looked really different. Ooh, okay, this is cool, actually. Oh, this is really neat. I'm gonna check this out. Thanks for the suggestion, Drakey boy. That was actually pretty cool. Ooh, that'd be fun. I'd have to practice my Eleanor voice though. I have like a very distinct idea of what she would sound like. Dieter, not so much. Dieter is a bit more. He's very variable. Redux is plus, but taken up by someone else because plus is abandoned. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, I think I can get rid of this underlay here, actually. Okay, let me just do her head real quick. It's been a few years. Yeah, I'm noticing now because like one of the things that I've started to notice is like college definitely took a lot of time for me. I'm glad I did it. Like I'm glad I have that, I have that degree, but like I've noticed like I remember back when I was like 19, I was like, "Oh, I really want to get into this stuff." And like I was like, "Oh, this is kind of tough and whatnot." And then I was like, "Okay, I just have to focus on midterms. I can't really focus on this stuff." And so I've definitely wanted to kind of get into those things I never had the chance to do originally. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. I promised myself at least 1 year I'm just going to be doing art and nothing else. One whole year, just going to be focusing on this. And I promised myself I'd do it. So yeah, I'm going to see how this year goes and then I guess we'll find out. Sounds good, yep. You can also use your plus files if you have it. Someone used my base already. Hey, that's good to hear, pretzels. So yeah, so like PNG stuff, 3D work, all that stuff. That's what I wanted to do for a while. Actually, I think I got her ears like perfectly in this shape. I've noticed I do this too. I'm so used to not doing sketches that I'll actually usually get the sketch more correct than the actual line work, and it's kind of funny. I think I'm going to stick with this, actually. This is a good look. And her hair tie back here. I should fix her ears a teeny bit down here. I don't want her to look that angry for this one. I wonder what expression I should give her, actually. I think she should just be aloof. Like, I don't think she actually wants to cause malice. She's just so used to, like, this that it doesn't even occur to her that she might be, like, kind of bothering him. Hang on, what do her eyes look like? I forgot what her eyes look like. Let me just grab a reference. Locked in. Yeah, she's just like, she just assumes that Dieter is there to, like, step on. Doesn't even process his, like, existence. Okay, her eyes are this shape. I was right. Okay, so she's so it should be like this, and then no, it's too friendly. I need her to be like something between aggressive and completely aloof. So that's gonna be a tough one. Actually, I think I might have to get rid of this forehead part here, because that doesn't really look like her. Oh, I think I had something there. Damn, okay, I'm really locked in for this one. Uh, ooh, wait, I think I got it. Yeah, I think this is it. There we go. Okay, I think I'll stick with that for now, and I'll see how that looks in a sec or two. There we go. Okay, so we have her expression down, which I might edit in a sec. Her jaw, her chin's a little too sharp there. No, I'll leave that as is. Okay, so we got her expression. We got her nose. We got her hair kind of coming down here, which I think I can make a little messier. There we go. And then I think I'll just make her hair a teeny bit bigger, and then yeah, I'll give it this bend shape a bit more, because this is her, just her iconic look. Oh my god, I did not sleep that well last night. How's everybody doing? How's everybody sleeping? Because I know the temperature has been kind of nuts recently, and a lot of people have been getting sick. It's like here it's been like going up and down like 15 degrees every day. It's ridiculous. I'm always bad at sleep on work days. Oh, my sympathies, dude. That is the one thing I miss about my retail job. I always slept really good when I allowed myself to sleep really good, because I'd be nuts sometimes and go like crepuscular. Messing around with dying light. The beast. Interesting. Though I do like the cold. Yeah, I'm also kind of not. I do enjoy the cold. I definitely like the summer more, but I'm kind of tired of the ridiculous amount of heat and humidity that there was this summer. Also, I don't know if I told you, but my persona is part monster truck. Well, how curious. I don't. I think if it's the one in your profile picture, I think I think I definitely noticed, but I don't think you mentioned it before. No. There we go. Yeah, her nose wasn't right. Okay. What about this? It is the one in my profile picture. Hey, that's kind of neat. I like the design. Super neat. Hey, let me get her ponytail in a bit better. Yeah, actually, that would be carried up, wouldn't it? Let me get her ear out of the way real quick. Yoink. Turn that down a bit. And get her ear in. Actually, genuine question for all of you. What do you all think of Eleanor's design? Like, legitimately. Like, just from your point of view, what do you think of her design? Cute. Oh, fair, I suppose. Any compliments will be G-Bard. Hair, yeah. Yeah, her hair is very noticeable. I like her also neck. Oh, I like it quite a lot. I think it suits your personality. Yes, the neck is very much a detail I wanted to be in there for entirely curious reasons. Also, I just don't see like long necks that much in characters. She is a deer, so I thought it'd be like a funny little detail, especially for her silhouette. I thought it would make her silhouette really like kind of noticeable. But also, I'm just biased. I really like characters with long necks. I actually might make this a little bit smaller. I'll be honest, same reason why I like big hams. Yes, exactly the same. Thank you guys, though. I really appreciate that. This is all very sweet of you. Uh, if you mentioned that her hair was big or her like neck was big to her, she would probably get mad. Well, maybe not the neck thing. She takes pride in her neck. Well, kind of, not really. It's complicated. She kind of takes pride in it, but she used to be in a friend group where like I don't know how to describe it. Oh yeah, no, actually, that's kind of a spoiler. I don't want to spoil that. Does it look better before? Okay, it does kind of look better before, but I think I'm gonna adjust this very slightly because I like this swoop, but I don't like how much space it's taking. Yeah, this is better. Yeah, I really like big-handed characters too. It's funny you mentioned that actually. So I actually have been working on a character with some like more kind of large hands in their design. And I've been kind of putting that more in some characters recently because I really like it. It's like a design detail. How does that look? Does that look better before or after? I kind of like it better actually, like this. I'll leave it like this for now, and then if it becomes a thing I want to change, I'll mess with it. Let me see. Uh, as for her other ear, this is gonna be tough. I don't know where to put her other ear. At least I don't know where to put it where it makes sense. I guess just here. This is the most makes sense part of her hair. So okay, so that's her head. Then I just need to put her arm. Also, damn, I just realized how small Dieter is compared to her. It's clocking out in train time already. See ya, see ya. All right, dude. Have a good time. Hopefully you get home safe. Also, don't worry too much. The stream's gonna end in about 10 minutes anyway, cause this was just gonna be a quick one anyway. But it was super nice to have everyone on. I just want to focus on this drawing a little bit. Let me see. What am I? I'm missing something. What am I missing? Thank you, and fair. Yeah, no, for sure. All right, see you, dude. Get back home safe. Not sure if her zipper would show. Actually, no, I do like the little detail of her zipper being there. Uh, ooh, actually, wait. The hoodie is kind of clipping into her neck a tiny bit here. I have to see aeromorphs in a stream or artwork someday. Yeah, I have actually wanted to do an aeromorph. Like, I think I would just draw one. Like, I don't know if it would be like a recurring character. Like, I just want to do it just for fun. But I've definitely been curious about it because I've seen some cool aeromorph designs, and I think it'd be fun to just give it a try. There we go. Maybe next stream or stream after that. It's hard to say. I'm usually pretty fickle with these streams. I wouldn't generally expect a certain thing. Just like I wouldn't expect something to happen. With these streams, usually, unless it's like voted for by people, like people say like, oh, we want to do this, or like I don't know, somebody like pays for a commission and then it's up on stream or something. I don't think I'd say that one could expect to do something like this because usually I just do them when the mood strikes or like I feel I have to get something done. Like these comics, for example, like these are streamed because I think I need they kind of need to be done. Oh, hey Max. Hello. But I'm definitely gonna draw one at some point. When though, I have no clue. Very, very variable. I have no idea. Hey sorry. Hey Max, sorry. Mark just left. Hey Max, how are you doing? How's it going? Okay, her arm. Yeah, her arm is gonna be tough. So I think it needs to be like so and a little bit bigger. Here to see it. Doing okay. Thanks, salty pretzels. And hey, glad to hear. Doing that annoying task I told you about. Oh yeah, the one you got at work. Gosh, dude, I hope that's not too bad. It sounds very tedious, so here's hoping it's not. It ain't the worst. Okay, let me get her phone down real quick. So her phone, static object, that's going to determine her hand shape. UV unwrapped 6 models do not meant to be UV wrapped. Ugh, that's annoying. My sympathies. Yeah, I really hope that's not as bad as it sounds, because that sounds pretty dismal. Okay, her phone should be a little bigger. Probably a bit more exaggerated in some proportions, but I'll leave it at that. Then her hand would be, hang on, let me use my hand for reference. How would that even look? Uh, okay. I think I have an idea of how her hand would look. It's a little too ridiculous, I think. There we go. That would carry down over here. Probably see a bit of her wrist before the sleeve comes in from her jacket. Actually, I think her hands are a little too big. Probably more like this. Yeah, close enough, I guess. These angles are always really tough when a character is holding something exactly horizontally, because the hand is kind of hard to draw super horizontally, I've noticed. So this will have to do for now. Here we go. Hands are hard. Yeah, hands are hard. It's taken me a long time to figure out hands consistently. Hands take a couple years before they really click in your brain of like, oh yeah, this is how the hand should work. Okay, I'm gonna do something I don't normally do. I'm actually gonna draw the arm first, and let me see if this helps a little bit. This is something that usually you're not supposed to do. Usually, if you do the arm first, it kind of looks a bit odd. But I'm having trouble with placing this hand, so let's try it out. There we go. And hopefully in the future I can get to Blaine's sheet, but I think I'm gonna end the stream in like, I don't know, like 5-10 minutes probably. I just want to get this doodle done. Or, well, this is not a doodle, this is basically a finished piece at this point. I want to get this one done for sure. Okay, and... Okay, I did her hand right, it's just the opposite side it needs to be. Yeah, okay, so I just did it wrong. So it's like, it's the right shape, it's just the completely wrong angle. So it would actually need to be like... just following the back of it. And then her other fingers are like there, kind of, I guess. It's a really tough angle, actually, for this part, especially on this arm. Let me try again. Oof. Yeah, this is going to be the one where I really struggle. Oh, actually, that might work just fine. Assuming it's right, at least. Okay, so I think this is right for her arm. Now the hand is going to be a little bit difficult. Yeah, it's like more or less correct. And then her wrist would be poking out all the way, most likely. This is actually the opposite of how you're normally supposed to do it. You're supposed to do the hand first and then kind of connect the dots from there. But I can't figure shit out, so... Yeah, this makes more sense. She would be holding it more aggressively. Fucking grasping it like an ice cream cone. There we go. That makes way more sense. Okay, I guess in this case that actually did work out. Her wrist might need to poke out a tiny bit more, though. Like here, I think. Yeah, like so. Just to make it really look like she's reaching. Actually, that might be a tiny bit too much. Teensy bit less. Oh, God. It's like here. Let's try this. So the wrist is out there, and her hand would be gripping the phone. And speaking of the phone, I can probably just like put that there or something. But that doesn't entirely look right, so I might actually just put it on an angle like so. Got that iCarly parrot phone. Never watched iCarly, but I do know about the pear phone. Here we go. And I think that makes sense. I'll have like our contacts list here. But I think I should actually kind of thin this line out just because it's kind of messing with the depth a little bit. There we go. Little antenna on it too. Actually, yeah, no, phones kind of stopped having antennas by the time they got to flip phones in the early mid 2000s. So I think I'm gonna go there because this is like their advanced technology. This is the flip phone with no satellite dish on it or no like radio line. Antenna, that's what it's called. I completely forgot. Looks a little too bulky. I kind of like how it looked before. Just maybe this bottom part a tiny bit bigger. And then the top part a tiny bit smaller. And I think this is pretty much done after that. I'm definitely going to add in colors later though. Yeah, this looks really nice. I really like how this one came out. I like how absurd the density of his tail is that she can just stand on it. Okay, alright, this came out really good actually. Where did I put her phone? Oh, there we go. That's a layer. And let me just adjust this a tiny bit. 100% foof. Yeah, he is, like, she can just stand on his tail. It's a little nuts. There we go. Monster floof tail. I got a boy like that too. It's just really, really like tough and like dense and whatnot. Yeah, I like floofy tails. Floofy tails are fun. They're also really fun to draw. Okay, honestly, I think this is like perfect. Honestly, I can't really think of anything else I need to change. And let me just get rid of the guidelines. Hey, for an hour, this is quite a bit of progress actually. And just because I don't want to think about it later, I think I'm just going to add in the color base right here. Boy's floofy tail's like 2 times his length. Yeah, no, it kind of is. His tail is kind of enormous. His tail is low-key a little ridiculous in size. Okay, I don't think I see any. Yeah, these I can just manually swap out. Just manually crop this out. Very carefully. Okay, and there's a couple pixels here I missed. And I think that should be good. And I'll just invert and put in the lines. Sorry, the colors. Lines. Alright, perfect. So, this is pretty much done. At least for now. I'm going to continue like adding color to it later, but I think I'm going to end the stream here for now. There we go. Maybe just some final adjustments. Actually, no, I like this color a lot. This little gradient here. Alright. Thanks for watching, everybody. This is going to be the end of the stream. I'm definitely going to do more of these like art streams throughout the week. Thanks to the suggestions of Drakey Boy and Mark, I'm definitely going to look into maybe getting like a VTuber model or something. Or at the very, I kind of want to look into how putting that together would be, and then maybe I could do a stream about that, and I think that'd be kind of fun. So I guess we'll look into that, I suppose. But yeah, just more comics, more like posters like this, like poster stuff and whatnot. And I suppose we'll see. But for now, this stream is done, and I hope you all have a lovely day. Thank you all for coming. Okay, and yes. Oh my goodness. That was funny. OBS decided to not end the stream there. But yeah, there we go. Thank you all for coming and have a lovely day. Bye.